All right, today we're going to dive into a global program that's all about a super pivotal time in a young person's life. You know, those years between 12 and 15. It's when you're really starting to figure out who you are and, where you fit in the world. But what if that time, which can be kind of tough, could actually become a source of incredible power?
And yeah, that time can be tough. I mean, really tough. Just listen to what Diana from Chapel Hill had to say. Her story about moving to a new country, wow, it just perfectly captures that universal feeling of wanting to fit in, right? Just wanting to be accepted for who you are. Or take this young artist who felt like he was totally on his own. And it's that feeling of isolation that so often sparks this really powerful question: what can I do? It's a search for a purpose, for a way to actually make a difference, not just in your own life, but for everyone around you.
And that right there, that brings us to what we call the junior youth years. It's this super intense time of transition, moving from childhood to adulthood. It's a time of massive change, but also just incredible potential. So, the core idea behind this whole program is to look at the ages of 12 to 15 completely differently. It's not some problematic phase that just needs to be managed, right? No, it's seen as this truly special, unique period. This is the time when young people are really building their moral compass, figuring out what's right and wrong, and basically laying the foundation for the person they're going to become.
Okay, so you've got these challenges on one hand and this incredible potential on the other. So what's the response? Well, that's where the Junior Youth Spiritual Empowerment Program comes in. So, what is this program exactly? Well, at its heart, it's designed specifically for 12 to 15-year-olds. And the goal is kind of threefold. First, to help them develop their spiritual qualities, like kindness and justice. Second, to sharpen their minds, their intellectual capabilities. And third, and this is so important, to build their ability to actually serve their communities. And how does all this happen? Well, through a whole bunch of cool activities. We're talking about everything from having deep, meaningful discussions to expressing yourself through art, playing cooperative games, and even diving into some powerful stories and literature. And the common thread, the thing woven through all of it, is this focus on real, tangible acts of community service.
And this quote from Lexis and Madison, wow, it just perfectly sums up the kind of environment these groups create. She calls it a safe space, a place that's more comfortable than even school sometimes. It's a place where you can just be yourself, explore ideas and grow without all the pressure you might feel in other parts of your life. So, you might be wondering, how do these groups actually work? Well, a super key part of it is the person who helps guide the group. But here's the thing, they're not called teachers or leaders, they're called animators.
An animator? So what's the difference? Well, think about a traditional teacher, right? It's often a top-down relationship where they tell you what to do. But an animator, that's totally different. They're more like a friend who's on the journey with you. Their job isn't to give you all the answers, but to walk alongside you and help you discover your own potential.
And Mitch, a youth mentor, just nails it with this quote. He says, "You're not a teacher, you're just kind of with them. It's all about helping them realize for themselves just how amazing they are and that they truly have the potential to make a difference." This whole approach is part of a bigger idea they call walking a path of service. And it's a really smart step-by-step process. First, you've got someone there with you, walking alongside you. Then you start with simple tasks, to build up your skills. And it's totally okay to make mistakes. That's how you build confidence. And slowly, bit by bit, you build up the capacity to take on bigger, more complex acts of service for your community. Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's check out some examples of this empowerment in action.
I mean, it can be something as simple and direct as getting together to clean up the trash in your own neighborhood. Or it could be seeing a need and stepping up to fill it, like the group that collected and gave out winter clothes to people experiencing homelessness. And it can even scale up to tackle huge social issues, like joining a justice run to help stop human trafficking. Or maybe it's something more personal, like bringing a little bit of joy by doing crafts with kids at the local hospital. But here's the most important part. Every single one of these service projects is chosen and carried out by the young people themselves. And through this whole process of service, something amazing happens. You see this profound personal transformation. Kids who might have been disrespectful learn to respect one another. Participants become more confident, prouder of who they are, and they start to develop this genuine desire to give back, to find their purpose.
It just shatters old ideas and builds this incredible sense of connection. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. What's the bigger picture here? What's the core philosophy that's driving this entire program?
Well, it's captured so beautifully in this one idea. Regard man as a mine rich in gems of an estimable value. Just think about that for a second. The idea is that every single one of us is like a mine, just full of precious gems. We all have this amazing untapped potential inside of us. And that is exactly how this program sees young people. They're not problems to be managed or fixed. No way. Instead, like that mentor Mitch said, they're seen as seeds or big baskets of potential, just waiting for the right environment to grow and flourish. And this all leads to a really big, ambitious goal. The ultimate aim is to empower these young people to take all of their amazing energy, their talents, their hopes, and channel it all towards something huge, the advancement of civilization. Basically, making the world a better place for everyone. Which really brings us to the final and maybe most important question. It's the question this program is trying to answer every single day, in neighborhoods all across the globe. What happens when young people truly, deeply realize that they have the power right here, right now, to change the world for the better?